That's day 4. Let's move on. Day 5 to page 3. This is the 5th day. Fifth day, what did God create on day 5? On the 5th day, let us read on. Genesis 1 verse 20, and God said, let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the firmament of the heavens. So God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, and according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening, and there was morning, a 5th day. And there was evening, and there was morning, the 5th day. So you can see here, candidates, on the 5th day, God created the seas. God created the seas, decorated the seas. God decorated the seas. And how did God decorate the seas? He said, let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures. He decorated the seas by bringing forth to life sea creatures. He decorated the seas. He decorated the seas by bringing to life sea creatures. By bringing to life sea creatures. By bringing to life sea creatures such as, we've read here, such as sea monsters, great sea monsters, and every living creature that moves. He also decorated the heavens with birds. Okay. He decorated the heavens. These are the skies with birds. He decorated the heavens or the skies with birds that flew above the earth. And he gave them power to do what? To multiply and fill the seas and the skies. So on the 5th day, we can say God created sea creatures and birds. Sea creatures and birds. Sea creatures and birds. How about the 6th day? What did God create on the 6th day? We are moving on to verse number 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, cattle and creeping sea things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the cattle according to their kinds, and everything that creeps upon the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them, and God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a sixth day. All right? That one, candidates, is straightforward. On the sixth day, God decorated the earth with living creatures. God decorated the earth God decorated the earth with living creatures. God decorated the earth on the fifth day with living creatures such as the beasts of the land, cattle, the creeping things. And God created also humankind. He created on the same day humankind. He created humankind. He created human beings. Okay? God created human beings. He created humankind on the sixth day. God created humankind, both male and female, in his own image. Both male and female in his own image. Both male and female in his own image, in his own likeness. Then he blessed them, and likeness. Then we read that he blessed them. Behold, I have given you every, and he blessed them, and God blessed them. That is verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. He blessed them and commanded them to be fruitful, to multiply, to fill the earth, and to subdue it. He gave them authority over other creatures. He gave them authority over what? All other creatures. He gave humankind authority over all the other creatures. All the other creatures. That's why you should not fear creeping things. I know people who fear creeping things. They fear lizards. Some of them fear mosquitoes. Okay, yet God gave us authority over all things, including the creeping things. He told us to have authority over them. Okay? He created us in his own image and likeness. He gave us authority. He gave human beings authority over all the other creatures that he created. And all human beings, the human beings were given every plant and every tree for food. Out of every tree, Adam was told, shall you eat. That we shall read later on. Out of every tree shall you eat. The earthly beasts, the birds, the creeping things, and everything that has life were given to man for food. So, candidates, God brought about order in the earth through the divine works of separation and decoration. So that is what happened in the sixth day. Let's move on to the seventh day. the seventh day. What happened on the seventh day? Now, the sixth day ends at the end of chapter 1. Then Genesis chapter 2, I read, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it God rested from all his work which he had done in creation." These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. When they were created. So you can see, candidates, that is the account. I've stopped at Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, the first sentence. This verse 4 has two sentences. That's why I call it 4a. Because in Genesis chapter 2, verse 4b, that is the second sentence, that is where we have the second account of biblical creation, of the second creation. The second creation account begins at Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, the second sentence. So you can see, candidates, God took a break on the seventh day from all his work. God rested on the seventh day. God took a break from all his work. God took a break. Or in other words, God rested. God took a break. We can write, on the seventh day, God took a break from all his work. In other words, God rested on the seventh day. God took a break for all his work and creation. So he blessed it. He blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Why? Because it was on that day that he took a rest. That is Genesis chapter 2. We read, God finished his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work. He took a break and rested from all his work. Took a break from all his work. God rested. He rested on the seventh day. Rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. He rested, then he blessed that day. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it God rested from all his work which he had done in creation. Which he had done in creation. In creation. God rested on the seventh day. So candidates, that is the account. That is the first account. The first creation account. The first creation account. Remember, we are discussing the biblical stories of creation. The first account, we read it in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 from verse 1 to verse 4a. God did what? God rested. So we can see that the creation, the works of God, the divine works of God, we see that God brought about order. God brought about order in the earth, first of all, through his divine works of separation and decoration. We read from verse number 1 here. Because candidates, in studying the first creation account, we say that God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th day. We can see here he worked up to the 6th day, then on the 7th day he rested. That's what we have read. Then we also say that before the universe was created, the earth was formless, was void, and was chaotic. We also have been studying that God created out of nothing, ex nihilo, except for his word. He did not have raw materials in creating these things, the way we do in manufacturing. No. He used his word to bring into existence that which did not exist. And we also see from this account that the creation was done in a systematic manner. It was done in a systematic manner, and that is what we've been doing in this lesson, right from the first day. We've read that God created light and separated light from darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called the night. This is the work of separation, the divine works of separation, which involves isolating one thing from another. He separated. This is separation. Then later on, we will see God decorating the skies with lights. We will see him decorating the oceans with the sea animals. We will see him decorating the dry land with animals, creeping things, beasts, vegetation, and so on. So on the first day is a work of separating, the divine works of separating, isolating things from one another. He separated light from darkness. He called the light day and the night, and the darkness he called night. The divine works of decoration, or what we call ornamentation, involves what God had already created through separation. So these are the works of decoration. They were carried out from, is it day 3? Yes, from day 3. Because second day is still separation. The firmament, that is the sky, he separated and called the firmament the heaven or the sky. From day 3, he started his work of decoration. And candidate is more or less like building a house. When you are building a house, you put up the structure. You put up this architectural structure. The foundation, when you are building a house, you lay the foundation, you put up the walls, you roof the house, you have the outer doors fixed, the windows, the verandas, you have the magnificent building. Then after you've done the building, you embark on what we call interior decoration. That is exactly what God did. He first of all separated the building we are calling the earth and the heavens. Then from the third day, he started decoration. From the third day to the 6th day, he decorated. Okay? Ornamentation. And we've read that he delighted in his works of creation. Because we've been reading after every creative activity that he looked at what he had done and said that it was good. He was delighted in his work. On day 3, God created the waters below in one place and separated water from dry land. He called the dry land the earth, and the water that was gathered together he called the seas. He put forth all types of vegetation. He decorated the earth. From the third day, decoration. all types of decoration. This is what we sometimes do, learners, in our houses or in our compounds. We have flowers inside the sitting room, flowers on the verandas, flowers, you have a garden, behind the house you may find vegetables, you may find flowers. So God did the same thing. He put forth all types of vegetation. This is the earth. He created the earth. The earth. In geography, we say the earth is the home of man. This earth, he put forth vegetables. For these are not just for decoration, but is food for the animals. Vegetation is food for human beings. Because later on, Adam and Eve were told, out of every tree shall you eat. Then on the fourth day, God decorated the firmament with lights that separated day from night. Lights, the same thing in our houses. When you build up a house or when you build a town, you need to have a lighting system. So he decorated the lights, the firmament with the lights, put lights in the sky, the same way we put lights in our houses. And we have people even putting lights on the walls. I've seen some houses where lights are even put on the floor. You have lighting system from the sides of the wall downward. We have lights up there. The same thing when God created the firmament, the skies, he put up lights in the sky. There is a big light, which he calls greater light, which we know is the sun. So he created the sun, which lights during the day. Then at night, we have the moon and the stars. The moon and the stars. The moon and the stars were created to shine during the night. The sun was put in place to rule the day. The stars and the moon were to rule the night. During the night, decoration. That is day 4. Day 5, candidates, we've read that God decorated the seas by bringing forth to life sea creatures. So the seas, the lakes, the sea bodies, the waters, the seas, the oceans, they were decorated with all manner of sea creatures in their thousands. Then he also decorated the skies. He created birds in the skies, all manner of birds on day 5th. The seas were decorated, the heavens were decorated. On the 6th day, God decorated the earth with living creatures. Living creatures. Living creatures. Living creatures were created on the 6th day, which includes the humankind, both male and female, and in his own image and likeness created he them. And he gave these human beings what? Authority over all other creatures, over all other creatures. Then on the last day, God rested from all his work which he had done. He rested from his work of creation. He rested. God rested on the 7th day. 7th day. Okay? He rested on 7th day. So therefore, that will mark the end of our today's lesson. Remember when I began, I said that there are 2 biblical stories of creation. 2 accounts. The first creation account is to be found in Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 from verse 1 to verse 4a. The second creation account, we will read it from Genesis chapter 2, verse 4 up to verse 25 in our subsequent lessons. So that will mark the end of the lesson, but I'm going to give you one question. for your assignment. Assignment. Outline first creation account. Outline the first creation account according to Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, verse 1 up to verse 4a. I say this A refers to the first sentence in verse 4. There are two sentences in verse 4. The second account is begins from Genesis chapter 2, verse 4, the second sentence, to verse 25. So the assignment is outline the first creation account according to Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2, verse 1 up to verse 4a. Thank you for joining this class. I will meet you in our next session where we continue to share knowledge in regard to the creation and the fall of humankind. God bless you. Bye-bye.